little dust things flying around. What's up, fellas? Welcome back to Effortless Gent. Today we're doing a bit of Q&A. So a few days or weeks ago, I asked you guys to send me some questions and I wanted to answer them in a video. I thought the Q&A format would be kind of fun to do. So I did receive a couple questions and I'm going to answer them today. All right, so the first question is from Jose. I'm going to read it off my phone. It says, "Hey Baron, it's so difficult to look fresh and decent without spending a lot of money. How do we dress simply elegant and natural?" Okay. Well, I have to disagree with you, Jose. I don't think it costs a lot of money to dress well. I think that's a pretty big misconception when it comes to dressing well or dressing stylishly. You don't have to spend a ton of money on clothing. Most of the recommendations I have, either through these videos or through the website, usually the most expensive I would recommend typically is something around like a J. Crew level pricing. So that's maybe $60, $70 for a shirt. But if that's still too expensive for you, I often list other items. Like for example, this Oxford cloth button-down shirt, I don't know if you guys can see it, is one of my favorites. And I buy all of my OCBDs from Uniqlo. And I think they are $19 or $29. They're not expensive at all, and I have like all the colors. So really, it's just a matter of figuring out what those stores are that hit your budget and that also look good for you. Now, I don't know where you live specifically, but I think Uniqlo is a great option if you are able to shop there. H&M, a little bit more trend forward, but they still do have pieces that work well for a smart, sharp sort of style. Places like Topman and Zara, like these kind of places, like you can definitely find great things there. You don't have to, they have options, right? Like you don't have to dress super trendy to shop there, but you can find more trend forward pieces there. So I would try stores like that, and maybe if I can, I will link to some of these stores below. But I often talk about this a lot in my course, Smart Sharp Style, and I also talk about this a lot on the website, just different articles. So you might want to do a little search on Google and check out some of the brands and stores and different clothing options that I mention in my articles on effortlessgent.com. All right, next question. This comes from Tony. Tony's asking, how about some tips for casual dressing for those of us over 60? Thanks. Okay. Tips for casual dressing for those over 60. Now, honestly, I'm 35. My core audience, I found out, is anywhere from, I would say, college grad to maybe like mid 40s. I think that's like typically the age range of the guys that read my stuff. But obviously we have younger guys who read the site, like people in high school. I get emails from them all the time. And I also get emails from a lot of older guys, like 55, 60, 70 years old even. And they just want to know how to dress better for their specific situation. Now, I don't really give any tips that are specific to an age group. I think everything that I talk about in the course, one, Smart Sharp Style, check that out. It's in the description box below. But also just in every single article that I write on effortlessgent.com, we have over, I think, 400 articles at this point. And even the tips I give you here on video, they're not really specific to a certain age group. I am older, so even if older than some of my younger viewers and readers. So even if these styles that I talk about apply to me as a 35-year-old, they're also going to apply to you as a 22-year-old fresh college graduate who wants to look sharper. Now, the same styles can work for older guys. It just really depends on a lot of it has to do, honestly, with like the fit of the things that you're wearing. So what I notice most older guys do is that they tend to get a little bit more comfortable and loose in the clothing that they wear, either that happened over time or maybe they just don't understand what good fit is nowadays. So I think if you're an older guy, you can dress really sharp if things fit you well. And that's the general rule for any age, really. Because like I always talk about, you can buy a $5,000 suit or a $500 pair of jeans, and if they don't fit right, you're still gonna look terrible even though they're really expensive. You could go to a Goodwill store even, or like some thrift shop, and find jeans that are your size, that fit well, that are cut well, or even suits that are cut well for your body, your specific body type, and you will look great even though you bought them at a thrift store. So it doesn't really matter where you buy stuff, it's more about figuring out what clothes fit you best and how they fit your body. So I did write a lot about fit on the website, and I will try and link to some of those articles in the description box or maybe up here in the card somewhere, so make sure to check those out. So if you're an older guy, don't worry too much about thinking that my advice is age specific, because it's not. It's more about figuring out what fits best on you, and then from there, thinking about how stuff is going to work for your specific situation, depending on what you do for work or where you live, things like that. I do cover all of this stuff in my course, Smart Sharp Style, so it's worth checking out if you want to sort of shortcut 400 articles and hours of video. Instead of doing that, I have a course that's built exactly for this purpose, to help you guys build a lean wardrobe from scratch, no matter your age, no matter your budget. So make sure and check out that link below, and it'll have more information for you. I think you'll find that really helpful. All right, so next question comes from Mitchell. He's asking, he has a light gray custom tailored suit that I've worn for special occasions over the years. Basically, the pants don't fit anymore, but he still keeps the jacket because the jacket fits fine. He's asking, is it okay to wear mismatched dark dress slacks with the jacket as semi-formal evening wear? Okay, so basically what I'm getting from this question is that he has a suit, the jacket fits fine, but the pants no longer fit for whatever reason. He can't let out the waist anymore, so he kind of got rid of the pants, but he has a jacket, and he's wondering if he can wear that jacket with another pair of trousers. So when it comes to suits specifically, they are designed in a certain way to where you can't really wear them with anything that isn't its matching pair of pants, right? So suits are designed in a certain way to where you wear the pants and jacket together. There are exceptions. You have, depending on the fabric that the jacket is made from, and also the different like pocket styles. So if it's a patch pocket jacket, then you can maybe get away with wearing it with a different pair of pants. But this is really convoluted. All this to say, my advice is to not wear that jacket anymore. If you insist on wearing an odd jacket, you should wear them with a pair of contrasting trousers that are of the same sort of material. Like, so if you have a really nice worsted wool, you want like a worsted wool pair of pants that have the same sort of weight or feel or luxe, like sheen of the fabric. That way, the formality of both the pants and the jacket look right together. Now, you can't really wear, you can, but I don't suggest you wear suit jackets with jeans or chinos, because like I said, it's not designed to do that. No, that's why sport coats exist, because based on the fabric themselves and the construction of the jacket and the way they fit, and also the stylistic things on sport coats, that's what makes them able to be worn with pants that are called like odd trousers or chinos or jeans, things like that. So if you're gonna wear an odd jacket, make sure it's a real sport coat and not a suit jacket. If you insist on wearing a suit jacket that doesn't have pants, make sure you have a contrasting pair of pants to wear them with that are of the same level of formality. So for Mitchell's case, he has I think it was a gray, let me see, he has a light gray, yeah, so it's a light gray custom tailored suit jacket. If it were me, I would wear, I don't know, I would probably wear like a medium, like a medium to navy blue pair of dress trousers. And I think that's all I'd really wear it with. And I would stick to that. But honestly, if you like the suit so much, I would just get another pair of pants remade, or just get a whole new suit. Cool. I feel like I should take a water break. No water around here. All right, so next question comes from Tony, and Tony is asking, I never really see or hear you talk about polos. Is there a reason for this? And what are your personal feelings on polo shirts? I love polo shirts. I wear them all the time in the spring and summer, and I think they are a great alternative to t-shirts. I personally don't wear t-shirts very often at all. I'm starting to wear them more now because I'm sort of exploring a more casual streetwear style to sort of mix with my preppy, smart, casual style that already exists. So I want to, experiment with new things, and that's kind of how I stay on top of what I like and my personal preferences. Anyway, my point is I'm starting to wear more t-shirts nowadays, but my default is always polos. And you're right, I don't really talk about them very often, but I own a few that I really like. Uniqlo a few years back made some really great polos that actually button down like this collar does. And so I really love those polos. I haven't found anything that I really like since, but as I look today, I'm starting to see more and more polos that I like. So typically I look for polos the same way I look for every other shirt. I want to make sure that it's slim and fits well to my body. I like the PK sort of weave. I think that's great. Or you can go with just like a standard, I don't really know. Like there are so many renditions of like polo shirts. But one that I really like and that I own is a PK polo from Uniqlo, and it has a button-down collar. I just think that looks really cool. But they're kind of harder to find, and if I find them, I will link to them in the description box. But you can go with a standard polo. I think black works really well. You can have, obviously, your menswear neutrals, white, light, I don't know, not a light blue polo. I'd probably do like a navy, a white, or a black charcoal. I think those colors will look really great and fit your full wardrobe really well, especially in the summertime. So, go for standard neutral colors if you're going to go for polos, and just make sure they fit really well. One thing that I do see, which I don't like as far as polos go, I should probably do a video on this. I don't like when the polo shirt sleeves, they billow out too much, or they are much bigger than your arm. You want them to be really snug on your bicep. I think that really helps make a polo look more modern and less frumpy. So I will probably do a this over that video for the polo shirts, so you guys can see what I'm talking about. So, stick with those sort of cues, make sure it fits really well, and stick with menswear neutrals, and you can't really go wrong with polo shirts as an alternative to your basic t-shirt, especially in the warmer months. So the next question, Tom is asking, how do you keep dressing stylish exciting? I started dressing stylish a couple months ago and was really excited for it, but there are not a lot of options to choose from. I find that to be a really interesting question, Tom, because, well, I think dressing stylish is not exciting. Is that what he's saying? Okay, so what it sounds like is that Tom is running out of options, or what he feels that he can wear. So what I think the problem is there is that not that he's running out of options, but he's running out of options for him specifically that he thinks he can wear. So I think he's limiting his beliefs on what is possible for him to wear. Now, I think a lot of guys get to this point, especially when they start dressing, or they start paying attention to what they're wearing, and they find like a set of outfits or a set of pieces that they can wear all the time, and then they feel comfortable in it, and so this is their new normal now. And then from there, they're just like, okay, great, this works well. But now they just get kind of bored after that because, well, they're wearing the same stuff all the time, and they're not really experimenting anymore with new things. So that's why it can get boring. So my advice to you, if you are in this position, is to, basically you want to make sure that you allow yourself to branch out of the basics, right? Or the menswear neutrals, even when it comes to color, or the basics when it comes to all the pieces that I suggest when you're starting out building your wardrobe. So, t-shirts, for example, if you're wearing polos now because you upgraded your t-shirts, then maybe step out of that and start wearing some Oxford cloth button downs. Or if you wear a lot of OCBDs like this one, maybe try a chambray shirt, try a twill shirt. There are a lot of different styles that you can try that look very similar, but they have a little bit of a difference in them. Another thing you can do is start experimenting with more color and more pattern. I think that's where you can be a little bit more creative and express, whatever you want to express with your clothing. Color and pattern are really great, and you can learn how to do. It's a little bit more advanced, obviously, when it comes to mixing colors and patterns together, especially multiple patterns. But I mean, it's not difficult. And I think I did a video on this before, and I have a few articles on wearing patterns together. So check that out. So if you are getting bored with the different sort of neutrals that you're wearing, or the standard pieces that I always suggest, just make sure you branch out a little bit. Let yourself wear some more color, wear more patterns, and learn how to kind of mix those things together, and that will make for a more interesting outfit and a more interesting wardrobe in general, and therefore you won't get bored. All right, this is pretty good. Okay, so I have two more questions. Let's see. This one is from Nate. Nate is asking, so I had this question come to mind a few days ago. Okay, blah, blah, blah. Can a belt be worn as your pop of color in a minimalist wardrobe, or must it always match your shoes and the buckle match your eyelets? Okay. Okay, so to be honest, so he's asking, can he use a belt as your pop of color, or does it always have to be matching? So first of all, I don't think too much about my belts. I think a lot of guys think too hard about it. The basic rule that you have to remember when it comes to belts is if you're wearing leather shoes, just match your belt with your shoes. If you're wearing brown shoes, wear a brown belt. If you're wearing black shoes, wear a black belt. It's pretty simple, and I don't think you have to think too hard about it. Now, if you have, let's say, a pair of tan or cognac shoes, and you only have a medium or dark brown belt, you're going to want to buy a tan belt so it matches. But other than that, really, I mean, how often do you really look at someone's belt and say, oh, they don't match their eyelet medals to their rest of their medals on their watch and their wedding ring? Oh, those two browns on his belt and his shoes don't match. Like, no one really thinks about it, and no one really cares. So just get as close as you can, and that's fine. If you want your belt or any of your accessories to be that sort of pop of color or that interesting part of your outfit, you can totally do it. That's why they make belts that are like those cloth D-ring belts or things that are made out of madras, or, you know, I don't know, there's so many belts out there that you can find different colors and different fabrics. So yeah, I mean, if that's your thing and you like colorful belts, go for it. You don't have to match them at all if you don't want to. So yeah, that's my advice. If you want to use that as your pop of color or that interesting part of your outfit, belts, then just go for it. All right, so this is my last question that I received. So from David, he asks, what should younger guys, high school and college, keep in mind when trying to look good without becoming a tryhard? Okay. That's a good question. What should younger guys keep in mind when trying to look good without becoming a tryhard? Okay, so if you're in high school and college, I think that's a really interesting time to really experiment with your style. At least when I was in high school, it was all about what's trendy, like what is cool right now. And what influenced that was, you know, the people we listened to as far as like music, and the movies that we watch or the actors that we follow, things like that. So pop culture basically is what influenced our style. And I think obviously that's still relevant today. Music and movies and that culture of that popular culture definitely drives a lot of the trendy styles. I think that's one aspect of it. And, you know, it's, you're in high school. Like, you don't have to wear suits and ties if you don't want to. I think you should wear things that are trendier. I mean, that's how I honestly discovered my own style. I wore stuff that was way trendy and I loved it. And I still actually, looking back, I'm like, I'm really glad I did that, because I know I was able to push myself and like wear things I really enjoyed and I thought I looked cool. And, you know, at the time I probably did. I look back now and I'm like, you don't look that cool. But I think back then I thought I did. And a lot of people thought I did as well. So, I mean, you know, that made me feel good. And I think that's what clothing really is all about. It's like experimentation and also just like feeling really good about yourself, because that's why we wear clothes that look good, because we want to feel good, right? So, you know, if you're a high schooler or if you're in college, definitely experiment with your style. It's not a big deal to try things that I don't necessarily recommend, because I don't talk a lot about on-trend stuff or like, you know, more trend-forward pieces, because that's not really my style now, and that's not what I teach. And I don't think as a grown adult, you don't typically wear that stuff unless it is specific to your profession or what you do for a living. If you're like a normal guy who has like a white collar job, you're most likely not, you know, stunting hard all the time. Maybe there are a few of you who wear like really trendy stuff to work. I don't know, but I don't find that to be super relevant to me or my readers nowadays, so I don't really talk about it very often. But as a younger person, I think it's really good to experiment and try new things, because, you know, that's how you sort of gain a taste and appreciation for clothing, and a taste and appreciation also for why you like certain things and why certain things look good to you and what don't. So, you know, your taste is going to evolve. I look at photos of myself from high school and college, and I would never wear that stuff again. I look at photos of myself from 5 years ago, and I would never wear some of those things. So, you know, style is always evolving. Your personal style is always going to change. So my advice to any younger guys who are watching this is like, go ahead and try the stuff you want to try. Wear clothing that you like, that you are attracted to, that you feel make you look good, make you excited to wear these things or put these outfits together. You know, wear that stuff. It's great, and enjoy it. And, you know, eventually your style will evolve and you will get to have a more refined taste after time, or after a while, over time. And, you know, I would just enjoy the process of wearing what you want to wear. And that's really my advice. Just have fun with it. And that's really my advice for everything, is just have fun. It's just clothing, you know, it's not really something that you have to worry too much about. Understand the rules, know what they are. And then from there, like, break them, you know, like you don't have to follow every single rule, especially if you're younger. I think you can do what you want, and still come out okay at the end. Like 10 years later, you'll be totally fine. So I hope you guys enjoyed this Q&A. Hopefully it wasn't too long. and hopefully I didn't ramble too much. And if you have any questions, the best place to ask them though will probably be in the comments of this video. So go ahead and leave your questions there if you have any, and I will make sure to do another one of these if you guys enjoyed them. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to make sure you check out our program, Smart Sharp Style. It's going to help you build a lean wardrobe from scratch, and at the very end of it, you're going to have an awesome wardrobe that you love, that you feel confident wearing, that you know you can wear with style. So go ahead and check that out. The course itself is 8 weeks long. I take you through every single step. There are links, photos, descriptions of things you need. It's super easy. You're going to understand how to build a wardrobe literally from scratch, and it's a great program. I want you guys to go check it out. I posted a link in the description box below. Make sure to take a look at that, and if you feel that it's the right fit for you, go ahead and join, and I'd love to have you in it. Make sure to hit that like button. Smash it is what the kids are saying nowadays, so go ahead and smash that. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I'd love to have you as a part of the Effortless Gent community, so please hit that subscribe button as well. Cool, I will see y'all in the next video. Peace.